Take 50.
Hey there, to the hopefully 100 of you that didn't swipe away immediately when you saw me starting to talk there. You put so much time and effort into these videos, and you're constantly tweaking and adjusting and trying to figure out what the secret sauce is to make these things go so that more than 100 people see them. And you can drive yourself absolutely batty trying to figure out what that secret formula is. And I'm more convinced than ever that there is no secret formula, because I've seen woodworking videos, like plenty of them, that are way shittier than this one's going to be. And they're just like cruising and getting tons of views and making the creator money. And I don't get it. I don't know what I need to do. And so I'm just going to try and be as honest as possible in the narration of these things. And I could explain what I'm doing, but there's nothing really special about what's happening here. It's just woodworking. It's a lot of the same cuts over and over and over and over. And you just have to be patient and skillful with your tools, and you can make really nice stuff. And then you gotta have nice tools too. That's like a big part of it. Shitty tools get you only so far. So this table here is made out of Alaskan birch. And I fucking hated making this table. Like nearly every second of it. And it doesn't go for all the things that I make. I really love what I do. And I'm so fortunate I get to do this for a living. But this table sucked ass. And it sucked ass because the wood itself sucks ass. And it does because Alaska is so far north that the sun at all times of the year just kind of skirts the horizon. In the winter, it makes a shallow arc across the southern sky, and then in the summer it spins a big circle. But the circle happens on kind of the perimeter of the sky. And so the trees, wanting to maximize the daylight and get as much food as they can from the sun, twist and lean in to the sun on the low horizon. And that twist comes out in the fibers of the wood when you mill it. So you cut slabs out of Alaskan birch, and I haven't seen a single one after it's milled and kiln dried that doesn't have a big nasty twist running down the center of it. And these boards were no exception. They were all twisted. And then a lot of them, after you mill them and cut the twist out of them, they retwist. It's just like, it's a pain in the nuts to work with. And then it also, how the fibers like cut through the planer, they just kind of like shred and make a mess and plug things up. And oh God, this thing was a real nightmare to make. And the base of it was no exception. And if I'm being honest about this base, I don't like it or how it turned out. It looks fine, but if you're me and there's, it's not, I just don't like it. Anyway, you saw in the beginning when I was trying to be professional about this video that there's a big steel plate right in the center of the table. And the guy wanted me to put that there because he was going to serve hot food straight from the pan on that steel plate. And then I come to find out that this thing is going inside of a man cave in a garage behind a grocery store, and there's nothing to cook with there. And so there literally will be no hot pots served on that steel plate. So it's basically pointless. that's like the feature of the table, and it's never ever going to get used for what it was intended. And so that's kind of annoying. Anyway, these are the base platforms that I made, and I took a lot of time to make sure they were like very square. And things can get out of square when you're welding pretty easily. If you weld up a corner too quickly, the the miter will warp and it'll pull that corner out of square. And so you got to like tack the corners and take your time and let everything cool down. And you just saw me standing there for like 3 seconds, and I put that in there to highlight that woodworking is mostly sanding, you guys. It's an assload of sanding, and so you better be ready for that if you're going to get into this as a hobby or a career. But it's not the worst. Like, you can do a lot of things when you're sanding. You can think about your life and make sure it's going the way you want it to, or listen to an informative podcast or an audiobook. There's just so much you can do while you're sanding. So it's a nice time for that. Another reason I dislike this table is it's so freaking heavy, and I was able to manhandle it a couple of times by myself, and so be proud of me. And I'm just going to slather on some Rubio Monocoat here at the end, and you think it's kind of expensive because a little can is like $70, but that can goes pretty far. And I've been trying to find the cheapest possible thing for finish because, it's all kind of expensive. And it turns out Rubio is like the cheapest. You get the most out of a can. It goes on the easiest. And it's like the best finish with the least amount of effort. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching.